Occasion of India's Republic Day, we've invited two veterans of corporate India, two gentlemen who have been honoured with the Padma Bhushan award this year, KP Singh of DLF and N Vaghul, the former chairman of ICICI Bank. Let's start with you, Mr. Singh, first. We understand it was a chance meeting with former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi that actually got you started on urban infrastructure and building modern cities. Take us through that.
No, firstly, I would not say it is just because of a chance meeting. The fact was that the earlier policies of completely confining the urban sector development to public sector, despite their best effort, could not succeed. And so therefore, it had to open up. Question was when. My meeting with late Shri Rajiv Gandhi perhaps hastened the process, and since he was a great visionary, he encouraged me to take very aggressive and risky decisions, and frankly it was only because of his backing that I could move forward in then a very muddy water. I think it was a very difficult situation at that time, and so to that extent I think this meeting paved the way for my pushing this case with the government to get the sector opened up for private investment.
Mr. Singh, currently what are your concerns regarding the monetary policy? The opinion seems divided on whether the RBI will indeed tighten interest rates and what will be the impact if any hike happens on the real estate industry.
I don't subscribe to this issue that tightening monetary policy results in reducing inflation. If you see the inflation basket, I mean, there is a lot of items which are not affected with just because if you increase the interest rate. But perhaps theoretically, most economists feel that it is the way to control inflation. So I disagree in that one completely. But having seen the working of Reserve Bank, being a director on the board for 5-6 years, I know they are very competent, very knowledgeable, but they have got very fixed ideas. So I think because of the fear of inflation, my gut feeling is they will tighten up the monetary supply, which might result in interest rate increase, much against the liking of the industry.
All right, Mr. Singh, we'll have to wait till the 29th to find out if indeed the RBI does go ahead with that tightening. But, there are a slew of real estate companies waiting to hit the capital markets, a deluge of real estate IPOs. What will your advice be with regards to pricing of these IPOs? You faced a pretty challenging time when you hit the market with your IPO.
The deluge of IPO shows what great entrepreneurs we have in our country. You see one opportunity, there will be 20 entrepreneurs waiting to grab it. It is the state of entrepreneurship, and we have to encourage. India's strength lies in these entrepreneurs. So my feeling is that there is nothing called pricing just because of it. Pricing is a factor of supply and demand. I'm sure when they come into the market, depending on what kind of category of product and which geographical area they are going to engage themselves in, the price will stabilize. For a moment it can go up, but eventually prices cannot remain high. It has to be commensurate with the ground realities of supply and demand of a particular area.
Mr. Singh, consumers watching the show would like to know from you your own outlook on where the real estate prices are headed. We've already seen about 14-15% rise in cities like Mumbai. What's the sense you're getting with respect to prices in the next 12 months?
The growth in India takes place to say 8-9% GDP, which personally I believe will happen. I mean, some people is only 8, people somebody 6, 7. I will say it will be maybe 8 or 9 and maybe more. But if not this year, this month, it will continue keep in growing because of the very fine, frankly, the government, we have there's a highly as you all know, is highly pro-development. So my feeling is our GDP will increase, and the moment GDP increases, demand is going to increase of real estate product. Question is, are we taking sufficient measures in the urban development scenario, both at the state and at the center level, to bring major reforms in this sector by changing our archaic town planning regulation, then changing the land acquisition laws, then bringing around, including in these your stamp duties, and bringing transparency. All this will lead to, you see, there is an artificial scarcity created by putting a ceiling on the FARs, means how much you can build in an area. I would say, why a ceiling? Why not allow, here in Delhi is more or less like you say 100 or 200 in some places, why not 500, why not 600? So it's an attitudinal change required to take place. Then only the supplies increase. Till that time it increases, I'm afraid real estate prices will keep on increasing. I don't believe that they will go down.
Well, those are long-standing demands that you talk about, Mr. Singh, ones that the real estate sector has been waiting for a long time. But more specifically with regards to the budget, sir, do you have any great expectations from Budget 2010? The real estate wish list has already been presented to the Finance Minister. Do you expect to see any relief, any extra stimulus for the sector in Budget 2010?
There is a fiscal deficit scenario, we are all aware. Then, so I for one believe myself that we should not bother about this increased fiscal deficit at this time. Let's get the development moving, let's get the growth rate up, let's get more employment, let people get more jobs. That is a scenario. If that happens, incentives and certain kind of rationalization of tax structure definitely is needed. I don't want to sort of curb things in this budget, but depends what political leadership, how they look at this. The fiscal deficit is an issue. As I said, I for one would believe take an aggressive posture, concentrate on growth at this time, and do not bother about the fiscal deficit. And in the long run, that is good for a developing economy like India.
One final question, Mr. Singh. On your own vision for DLF, we've seen significant restructuring that's happened. Where do you actually see DLF positioned in this decade?
Well, it's difficult for me to say, frankly. What we are trying to do ourselves in DLF is we have restructured our entire organization to bring focus in the areas of our operation. And we are trying to bring efficiency in our operations, and we are not getting into, frankly, growth for the sake of growth, diversification for the sake of diversification. We believe that real estate demand in India is going to significantly grow. And this, since I said earlier, it is a sunrise industry. We are the leaders. We have a brand value. We can say proud to be. We have got a great, fantastic brand. So our smartness will be to cash on the brand, grow aggressively in the business we are known for. Why run around and go in for diversification where you can provide internal diversification in your own line of business? So that is the way I see DLF growing significantly in the real estate business, not only in NCR area, but I suppose elsewhere in the country too.
All right, Mr. Singh, many thanks for taking time out to speak to us here on CNBC TV 18. From all of us here, sir, congratulations once again on winning the Padma Bhushan and joining us on the state of the economy and the state of the real estate sector.